Greetings, folks. An Eler Horum here with a World of Warships replay brought to us by Piston Napalm in the premium Tier 5 Italian battleship, the Giulio Cesare. Napalm is divisioned up with AngryAce in the Tier 5 American destroyer, the Nicholas. They are in a domination match on the map of New Dawn, and as our ships set out to their initial positions, let's take a look at the team rosters and the ship build. So each team has brought 5 battleships, 3 cruisers, and 4 destroyers on each team, ranging in Tier 5 through Tier 7. There are no radar threats in the match, and there are no CVs, so that should make it a little easier for the destroyers to cap and take and control objective points. Now, Piston Napalm's ship upgrades are Main Armaments Modification 1, Damage Control Systems Modification 1, and Aiming Systems Modification 1. His captain skills are Priority Target, Adrenaline Rush, Superintendent, and Concealment Expert. Now in this map, AngryAce has elected to move towards Bravo and attempt to take that cap. And Piston Napalm is moved to a northerly position to be able to provide supporting fire for AngryAce in the cap. The team looks like it's spread out pretty evenly across the different objective points, trying to drive all 3 objective points at the same time. And so far it looks like AngryAce has not been challenged in his attempts to take Bravo. But we do see at least a Krasny Krim that's milling around near Bravo. And in a moment here, I believe there is one other ship that's going to show up here that will put a threat on the Bravo cap. Yeah, so it looks like Napalm is looking for some targets of opportunity to shoot. He remains undetected at this point, so he wants to try to catch a ship in a broadside and a really compromised position. And now he has found one. The Myoko from the opposing team is pushing very aggressively into the cap, but now begins to slow down. And Napalm takes the shot on the cruiser, getting a relatively good salvo of about almost 5,000 hit points, but not hitting that magical citadel. Looks like AngryAce has taken a fair amount of damage already, losing almost half of his hit points from the cruiser. And so Napalm lines up to send another salvo towards the cruiser. Hopefully this time this shot will be a little more successful. And he finds the Citadel, getting 2 Citadel hits and almost eliminating the cruiser entirely. And AngryAce continues to put fire on the cruiser. And he's able to sink the Myoko for his first kill. Now Napalm is changing his attention to the Arizona, which was providing a pretty good profile to be able to get some damage. And yes, he gets a very good hit of over 13,000 points. Now Napalm sees a low health Nicholas, and hopefully his guns will load in time for him to be able to take the shot and take the Nicholas out of the match. He does have one person targeting him, but I'm not sure what it is. Oh, I think it looks like it's the Iron Duke on the south side of the map. Takes the shot on the Nicholas, does get an overpen, but not enough to take the destroyer out of the match. So the team has captured, actually had control of all 3 capture points, but is now losing Charlie, and it looks like they've lost the 2 destroyers that were in the Charlie area, and the 2 remaining ships at Charlie on Napalm's team are having to retreat. Now, Napalm decides here to take a shot at the broadside Iron Duke instead of trying to follow up with another shot on the Nicholas. Again, he gets a very good salvo there. Napalm is up to over 52,000 points, damage points done so far in the match, and we're only about 5 minutes in. So he's done quite well already. So right now, the team at this point should probably concentrate on protecting Alpha and Bravo, since the opposing team is very heavily concentrated near Charlie and still have a few ships milling around Bravo. So Napalm's in a good position that he can help defend Bravo and try to delay or retard the opportunity for the opposing team to push north towards Bravo. Looks like the Iron Duke has Notzered, and so Napalm takes a shot on that nearly stationary ship. It looks like, oh, and it looks like the necklace was taken out, and with that shot, Napalm is able to get his first kill on for the game. He's being targeted, but I'm not sure by whom. Maybe the Krasnikrim that's still in the area. And there is the cruiser. No, it's another ship from the south. So, from Charlie. So, looks like Napalm is waiting for the Krasnikrim to come out of concealment so that he can get a shot off on him. And yes, he does. Takes a full salvo out, and very disappointing. 6 overpens. It still does a fair amount of damage to that light cruiser, but it's not one of those magical one salvo shots that takes out a cruiser. So Napalm is going to get moving forward again because it is being targeted both by the Krasnikrim, but more importantly by this König that is down by Charlie. In fact, he's quite exposed to that König. The König has a pretty good shot on his side. Here comes another salvo from the König. Oh, and that was a very good salvo on Napalm, taking basically half of his remaining health. The König is a very good tier 5 battleship. The Arizona goes down on the opposing team thanks to AngryAce. And it looks like Napalm is going to try to get a salvo off on this Nagato before he gets behind the island. At least his back turrets get off. We've lost the Kirov, which was one of the other ships that was at Charlie on our team. Krasnikrim is still milling around Bravo, but between the Bayern, the Allied Bayern, and Napalm, they should be able to take out this light cruiser, or at least keep him from getting into the cap. But the cruiser is being quite brave here, being almost stationary in a broadside position. So Napalm takes another crack at the cruiser. And it looks like he completely missed. Now, our team has a strong lead. Point-wise, they do have a ship deficit. In fact, we just lost the Tier 7 battleship not too long ago on the Allied team. And now the Bayern goes down, so now they are down 6 ships compared to the 4. Oh, now they're only down by 1 ship margin, so Napalm is able to finish off the Krasnikrim. Again, at this point, they should be able to just hold the Alpha and Bravo caps, and they should be okay, so long as they don't continue to lose ships more quickly than the opposing team. Napalm is up to 74,000 hit points and damage done. Takes a salvo out on the Oktyabrskaya Revolucja, and gets a relatively good salvo, but he's going to take a salvo in return, it looks like. How accurate this shot is. All the shells miss, so that's good. And an opposing destroyer has now moved into Bravo and is taking the cap from Napalm's team. We have view on the Aigle. Looks like our other Nicholas is trying to get some shots on him. Napalm takes a shot on the Aigle. and completely misses. And now Napalm is being targeted. Again, I'm not entirely sure by whom. It might be one of the two battleships that's in the south, either the König or the Revolutia. But they're about to lose Bravo entirely to the opposing team. Yes, and that they just captured. Now, Napalm's team still has a lead, but they're still down one ship, and now they're down 2 caps to 1. So they do have to do some work to either sink ships or recover the cap. And the Agla is getting beaten up here pretty well, but I think he gets into concealment and survives here briefly. Nagato has cleared the island and is now putting some flanking fire onto Napalm. This is actually kind of a bad situation because it means Napalm is the only ship that's on the north flank now, and he is getting flanked by a Nagato that's actually in better health than he is, and Napalm is being targeted by 2 ships. There's the Nicholas that had entered the Bravo cap and had taken the cap from Napalm's team. Another salvo from the Nagato, but this one misses. Now Napalm's team is down, has a 2-ship deficit, and the margin of the point margin has now reduced to only about 120 points. So the opposing team is doing a good job trying to get caught up here, and Napalm is able to get a salvo in and finish off the low health Atiborskaya Revolucia for his 3rd kill. Now the Cleveland is in the cap and is providing a pretty broad profile, but the Nagato with its 410mm shells is putting some serious damage on Napalm, even though he's providing giving a very small target. Napalm takes a shot in the Cleveland, gets a terrific shot, gets a Citadel on him, almost takes out the Cleveland, and earns the Confederate achievement. But again, Napalm is still being targeted, certainly by the Nagato and probably by another ship. Another salvo comes in, and he misses. And Napalm is going to try to take a shot, I think, on the Cleveland here before he clears the island. No, he doesn't get that chance. So Napalm fires back at the Nagato. Now, I think this move here is a little bit risky because he's showing a pretty broad profile to the Nagato, and the Nagato's 410mm shells are pretty stout. But he gets into concealment, so hopefully no shells will come in from the Nagato at this point. Can't see any targets at all, so he's not able to fire on anything at this point. And now he gets detected, and he sees the low health Cleveland, so he's going to take a shot. And oh, very good. So not only does he take the Cleveland out, the Agla on the opposing team that was also very low in health was positioned very closely to the Cleveland and took one of the shells from Napalm, so he gets 2 kills in 1 for the double strike and earns the Kraken Unleashed as well. So Napalm is up to almost 113,000 damage done. He continues to have to sail away from the Nagato. He does have 1 heal remaining, but he can't heal anything at this point in terms of health. All damage he's taking at this point is now unrepairable. So he's having to keep a very shallow profile toward the Nagato and avoid taking damage. Now the opposing team has continued to hold Bravo. The Nagato is now moving towards Alpha. Now our team still has a point lead, but they now have actually a ship lead. Thanks to the double strike, I just realized that they now have the ship lead as well. So they're in relatively good position so long as they can continue to hold one of the caps. In fact, one of the opposing, the Mahan, goes down. So now they're actually quite close to winning with 900 points. In fact, we now have a ship that has moved into the Charlie cap and is starting to take that from the opposing team. So it's looking pretty good here. But how are things looking for Napalm? Because he's been kind of chased doggedly by the Nagato for the last several minutes. And the Nagato is a little healthier than the napalm is. And with 410 millimeter shells, the Nagato can easily overmatch the bow and stern of napalm's ship. Our team loses 2 battleships in quick succession. One, the Congo, which was in Charlie, attempting to take it from the cap. Not sure what happened with those shells. That salvo completely missed. And then we also lost, I believe, the Bayern. So that we have only napalm is the sole remaining battleship for the team. He can repair a little bit of health. He's got 1 heal left. He's having to try to keep his bow on the Nagato. The opposing team have a König left, and I believe they have a Nicholas left. So AngryAce and the Pensacola are trying to take back Bravo, but the Pensacola is probably in fairly serious risk of being taken out by the König. It's on the east side of Bravo. So napalm is going to close in, bow on to the Nagato, because he's got to get this ship down, because the Nagato will otherwise take the cap. Takes a shot, but all the shells bounce. The Nagato was just too well angled for him to be able to rush. He takes a pretty serious salvo from the Nagato. He's now having to turn in. It looks like he's going to go for the ram, which I agree at this point is the right thing to do. Closes in. He successfully rams, earning his 6th kill of the game and high caliber, defending the cap as well. And that in relatively quick succession, the opposing team had also lost their Nicholas, which was the destroyer that was in the Bravo cap. So now AngryAce is taking Bravo back. The Pensacola should probably try to get into concealment and not be fired upon by the König, which is still very healthy at this point. Now we have a good point lead, but the Pensacola, yes, he does get taken out by the König, so that just leaves AngryAce in the Nicholas against a very healthy König, but our team has a pretty healthy point lead, and they've regained Bravo. So the best thing for AngryAce to do here is to just run, because between the time remaining and the points, we have a strong enough lead that the opposing team, even if they were to take Bravo, they should not be able to catch up. Looks like in chat the opposing König is a little deflated because he's had a very good match with 3 kills and done 133k damage, his best match in the game, or in the ship. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be a loss for his team. And there's the König. The König's moving toward Bravo, probably in an act of desperation to try to get the cap back and see if there's any opportunity for his team to get the lead. But AngryAce is doing the right thing here by sailing away and not engaging, because if he were to engage, he would almost certainly be taken out and they would lose the match. So yeah, there's a 150 point differential which continues to grow at this point, and they have only about a minute left, so this match looks like it's pretty well wrapped up. So really good job by Piston Napalm in the Giulio Cesare, and also I think AngryAce has been doing a terrific job. He has at least a couple of kills as well, but he's been very instrumental in being able to contrast and influence the gameplay in the center of the map and trying to contain the opposing team as much as possible. It looks like the König may get the cap before time expires, but again, the point differential is just too great, and there's only about 30 seconds left. So this looks like a good win. So congratulations to Napalm and to AngryAce on a well-played game. And also shout out to the opposing König. He did a really good job for his team, very strong presence, and was very influential in the game as well. So congratulations to the König as well. And as the time ticks down here, AngryAce takes a couple of cheeky shots on the König as time runs out and our match ends. So very well played game. AngryAce and Piston Napalm come in the top of their team, both earning 2,000 base XP. And I'll put up the results for Napalm's performance as well, with damage done and ship sunk and so on. So I hope you enjoyed this replay. Please add your comments below. We hope to see you out there, and happy sailing.